Sticky issue, but we're going to talk about it because sooner or later, like it or not, we're going to have these conversations in the public square. We're going to have it in our social media and even in our circle of friends, right? So might as well address it now. Just recently, the Olympics had their very first transgender guy who became a woman who joined the weightlifting competition, and I, for one, disagree. I think it should never have been allowed, and I am so happy, I am so glad that he, not she, but he did not win any medals. Why is that such a big deal? It's a big deal because it's a battle of beliefs. And before we get into this, just a disclaimer. Guys, I'm not talking about, men who want to be with other men or women who want to be with other women in terms of romance. That's not what I'm talking about. That's a totally different topic. I'm talking about guys who think they're girls or girls who think they're guys, and then they enter into surgery and take the hormones and do all those things, and they are called transgenders. Here's a big problem with, one big problem I have with that is just basic common sense, biology, and science. All right, there's so much more to being a guy or a girl than the genitals you currently have. You have to take a look at your DNA, your X and Y chromosomes, and all of that stuff. So here's the thing. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm discussing with, or I'm hanging out, I'm talking with someone who's a guy who transitioned and became a woman. So he's a dude who went through the surgery and now lives like a woman. And if they are, or if he, I wouldn't say, you know what, they, because it's plural, because there's a lot of them, but I'll say he. If he demands that I call him by his now female name, from let's say Jason to Jennifer, or from Daniel to Danielle or something like that, right? And call him female pronouns, I will refuse. And if they get angry, or if he gets angry, not she, I would say why? We're all entitled to our beliefs. If, for example, I believe that I'm the king of the country, that's on me. Now, if I say, because I'm king of country, you need to pay me taxes, then you would say, whoa, that's, you can believe what you want, but your beliefs should not be, pushed down my throat. I'll say, exactly. You can believe what you want, I can believe what I want. You believe that sex or gender is based on the genitals you currently have, plus the hormones that you take, plus whatever lifestyle you choose to have, the way you dress, the way you speak. If you're wanting to be a girl, you change your voice, all of that stuff. That's your belief. My belief is that you're a man or a woman based on your birth sex, meaning the sex you had when you were born, your DNA, your X and Y chromosomes, and that is not subject to change regardless of surgery or hormones or whatever. So you believe that sex can be changed. I don't believe it. I believe sex is ordained at birth. Because of that, we have contrary beliefs. Now, just as for example, I'm going to say I'm the king of the country. If you don't believe that, that's on you. That's perfectly fine. Now, if I say you should pay me taxes and you refuse to pay me taxes because you don't believe I'm the king of the country, I have no right to be offended. Why should I be offended? I should not be offended because you have a right to your beliefs. So if there's any transgender who says, oh, you're so offensive, you're being so offensive because you're not calling me by my female name, and I'll be like, that's not my problem, you should not be offended because you, in the first place, you have no right to expect other people to live their lives according to your belief, just as I don't have the right to expect other people, like you, to live your life according to my belief. And to prove that point, I'll say this. Friend, I'm not expecting you to live according to my beliefs. That's why, now that you're living like a woman, I am not trying to say, no, live like a man, talk like a man, change your clothes right now, wear, men clothes. I'm not doing that. You can live like a girl all you want. Just don't expect me to kowtow to your beliefs. Just as I'm not expecting you to kowtow to mine, right? Let's just be fair. And because of that, things can get pretty ugly, okay? They're going to start to use social dominance, and they will bully you into submission. And I really hate that. You know what? I really, really hate bullies. But they exist too. A lot of people who say they're the most tolerant people are the most intolerant people in the world. And, you know, it's just hardcore hypocrisy. But if they say, oh, you know, you're just a bigot, you're a transphobic, bigot, intolerant, narrow-minded person, you know, and I'll say, you know, that's not really helpful in the discussion. I did not call you names. You started calling me names and calling me labels. And they'll say, well, it's just a fact that you're a transphobic, you know, narrow-minded person. I'll say, you know, that's not a fact, because I'm not afraid of you. So I'm not phobic of trans people. I just disagree. Disagreement doesn't make me a phobic towards what I disagree with. And I could have also said that, you know, I think you're delusional, you're psychologically challenged, and you need a doctor instead of a surgeon. I could have said that, but that would have been offensive, so I did not. So we should stop throwing out these accusations and words that are more triggering, that increase tension, that escalate the conflict. Instead, we should be civil, we should be polite and respectful, and not expect other people to live according to our own beliefs. There are Muslims, there are Christians, there are atheists, there are agnostics, right? And so far, we don't appreciate it when people say, convert to Christianity or I'll kill you. Convert to Islam or I'm gonna beat you up. You know, convert to pro-LGBT or I'm gonna bully you. We don't want that. And so that's not something we should do. We should remain civil, remain, you know, friendly, and just remember, we don't even have to keep hanging out. If we really disagree at a fundamental, you know, core issue here, we don't need to feel obliged to stay friends and to hang out and to socialize and all of that. Maybe we hang out right now, and then when we part ways, we part ways. And, you know, you live your life as a woman, and that's on you. I'm gonna live my life the way I want to. You live your life the way you want to, right? No harm, no foul. Today was just, you know, a disagreement and a simple conflict. No need to make this bigger. It's as simple as that. You know, and this just proves to everyone, especially if you're in a big group, it proves to everyone that you're not going to be swayed by all this political correctness nonsense, right? Because it really is nonsense. You don't have to be politically correct all the time. You just have to be honest, and you have to stick with what you believe, right? Now, if you're proven wrong, you're proven wrong, but this is science, this is common sense, this is biology. So if they disagree with science, common sense, and biology, they should not be so shocked and offended that other people will agree with them. It's as simple as that, guys. And I know this is controversial, but if people ask me, that's my position. And that's something that I think everyone should prepare for and learn about, just so that in the future, when all these conversations come crashing down on our doorsteps, we'll be ready, we know the real issue, and we know how to answer in a way that's biblical, logical, objective, scientific, and rational. And hopefully, respectful and civil. God bless you guys.